female protagonist, exerting personality, Marvel dialogue isn't exerting personality, it's crazy writing. No, I think that around this mark, around the first 30 seconds of the video, this is when they started to lose it. Because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like, if I suddenly, alright, if I suddenly become able to move shit with my fucking arm, that's exactly what I'll do. Like, this would be my reaction.
Well, definitely with my assistance.
I did not just do that.
Like, imagine this, okay? Like, imagine you're living in any society and suddenly you do a hadouche and now something just explodes. How many times have you sat on your bed, like, especially when you were a kid and you were like, you know what? What if I could move things with my hand? And you try to channel the force, you know? And you were like, please, Jesus, that was me. Please, Jesus, if you allow me to do this, I will tell no one. And of course, you know, fictional figures do not allow you to do things. Woohoo! Job, you know? Yeah, come on. So, that would be me. I just don't click with this kind of writing, just like Deadpool. Yeah, and again, that's subjective, right? But it got so much hate, and I just don't know why. I love Deadpool. I loved Iron Man in the Avengers. This reminds me of that particular character, of Tony Stark in a sense. Like, you know, did you just do that?
I just move shit with my mind.
Yeah.
Our connection has somehow awoken some abilities.
I just moved shit with my mind.
Yeah, like, this is just the sudden realization. I think up to this point, we're good, alright?
Keep hearing
I think...
I just move shit with my freaking mind!
I think that's where it starts to lose it. Not the celebratory sense in a notion, in a sense. That's something I do. I do magic now, send its cuffs, kill, jacked up beast. You know what? I think that this could be the cringe moment that people are talking about, right? And personally, the whole concept of flight, you know, and I probably fly next. I love it. This is what I would be thinking of, you know? But this part here...
did you not just see me take out that gnarly beast?
Okay, that's a bit eccentric. I don't mind that. I don't mind. This one I mind.
Oh, bring it, you mangled monsters.
No one says that. This, for example, is a how do you do fellow kids moment, in my opinion. Bring it, you mangled monsters. Have you ever thought of that sentence? It's how do you do fellow kids, right? Yeah, I mean, at least this part is, you know? Because I could see how from 10 to 35, this makes sense for me writing-wise. From this point onwards, I'm gone. Like, I'm lost. Like, I'm not buying the game. I'm not playing the game. I don't care about the game. At the same time, the criticism that I would have to offer to this game, and let's mute the sound. Let's exclude the sound whatsoever. This thing looks hideous. Like, I believe the problem is not the sound. I think it's graphical. Look, like, if you look at it under specific angles, look, like, this character looks so lifeless, so empty. Oh no, it doesn't get any better with more you play and watch. Okay, I get it. But still, the visuals, alright? Like, the background, you can see the pixels, the polygons. For reference, this is in 1080p, okay? So, like, you guys are not seeing some low jack shit or whatever, you know? And as a matter of fact, I will proceed to lower my camera just because, and I will move me in, you know, on top of Asmongold, and that's on the door. I apologize, but this is how we'll do it so that you guys can see the depth of field in the background, you know? This looks archaic. This is not a 2023, just had a brain fart, right? Graphics, it doesn't. And look at the angles. Like, again, I have disabled the sound of what we're seeing right now, so just ignore the writing on the dialogue. What is this? What are these frigid movements? It simply doesn't make sense. Like, it's not appealing, it's not attracting to the eye. So, like, what we heard before was a dialogue who, after 20 seconds, became cringe. But if you remove the 20 seconds, if you remove the cringe part, there was no ambience, there was no sound around her, no music happening, no, I don't know, like, rustling of leaves, you know, some birds chirping and so on and so forth. There was nothing, you know? This character was the spotlight, which is good if your spotlight is actually good. What I'm trying to say here, what I'm trying to convey, and hopefully I'm successful in doing that, is that when you put someone under the light and you're like, behold our product, the product needs to be really, really good. Apparently this is the same engine as FF15. This looks way worse than FF15. But the situation is, again, this doesn't look good. Focus on the mouth, okay? For me, focus on the mouth and you will see what I mean. No, this looks hideous. Like, look at this. This moment right here is a massive L. Like, Wow, look at this. Damn, that's a massive L moment, right? What in the world is that? I had specific realistic graphics because they make realistic looking characters with terrible facial animations like those horror stories in... Yeah, exactly, that's what I mean. So you have... You know, again, we exclude the cringe dialogue. Let's say that the dialogue was good, okay? Zero ambience, terrible graphics, zero sound, zero chipping, and you have this thing on your spotlight. Why? Why do you do this to your game? This is terrible. I'll show you realistic characters, TTV. I don't get it. But hi, Demon Knight, yo! FF15's is Square Enix homegrown engine. They forced a lot of the developer teams to use it. I see. I mean, look, it's not good. Again, focus on the head movements. They're clearly trying to convey this moment right here, you know, but they're terrible at it. Look at this. It looks so fake. The lip syncing, the lip moving, it looks worse than Final Fantasy XIV does, and Final Fantasy XIV was done God knows when, right? It looks worse than World of Warcraft lip syncing. That's what I mean. I'm in a meeting, so no audio, but these faces are wild. No, there is no audio because I have muted it, right? I don't want the, you know, oh, cringe dialogue. I want to focus on everything else because I believe that everyone has ostracized this game because of the dialogue, right? And it's so much worse. Like, and this thing is in PlayStation 5, if I recall correctly. Let me see very, very quickly. Forspoken. It's okay, so it's in PC and PS5, alright? So you can have it on PS5 and on PC. I know that much, right? But, again, these are PlayStation 3 values, in my opinion. Like, these are, like, terrible graphics. And, yeah. It just... Again, what is this? What is this depth of field? Look at these trees could easily be trees from Final Fantasy 1.0. What is this? Oh, people don't look like that. I don't know if you guys are people or if I'm broadcasting to aliens, but this is not how we look like, alright? This is not a human's head. Unless something's really wrong with the head. Like, your senses, okay, my senses, you know? The senses that we as a species collectively developed over thousands upon thousands of years in order to become the apex predator in this lovely, lovely blue ball that we call a planet, are telling us that this is not one of us, right? It doesn't radiate emotion, you know? This guy is one of us. This emotion right here is similar to a guy who just witnessed something. This is disappointment. This, your brain can interpret, right? What I'm doing here, your brain can interpret, you know? We have human interactions with one another. This thing, it's alien. It's like... Okay, those of you that were born in the 90s and earlier, you guys remember those action figures that we had? Not the good ones, the ones where the face was kind of like this. This is what this thing reminds me of. Like, you had like the action figure of the guy that looked like, you know, a proper kind of like a thing, you know, wore a helmet, and you had whatever the heck the other thing was, and you always had the other thing being the bad guy. This is the bad guy of my action figures when I was playing with them at the age of 4 to 5. We're talking back at 1998 or 1999, you know? This is what I'm having, this is how I feel here. But besides the point, what I'm trying to convey here, and the important part for me, because before I get stunlocked, because that's who I am, right? This game, it doesn't have a predecessor. When you have Final Fantasy 15, you have Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 12, Final Fantasy 11, right? This one does not have another predecessor. This is not like Forspoken 3 or like Forspoken 17, where people have established an emotional investment or an emotional connection with another series, with the entire series, right? It's, for example, Pokemon, you know? Why do people buy Pokemon Scarlet, for example? Because we have been playing Pokemon since Red, Blue, whatever, right? This thing does not have a franchise. This is just a first game. For this to come out, it's hideous. It's visually hideous. Yes, there's not much more, just Google it. Really? Forspoken, Square Enix. Bloody me, that's a terrible... Holy poo-poo. Okay. Well, the Final Fantasy XIV devs will have to grind extra hard and work extra hard to restore some good faith. Because, yeah, this thing doesn't look that good in my opinion, bro. And when I say it doesn't look that good, I mean it looks hideous. This has nothing to do with Creative Business Unit 3, lol. Of course it doesn't. Of course, no, I'm not saying this is connected to Final Fantasy XIV in any way. Other than falling under the title Square Enix. You know, like Square Enix made one, Square Enix made the other, you know? So what will Square Enix have, what will Square Enix, it was a joke pretty much that revolved around, you know, this part of Square Enix has to work super hard because the other part of Square Enix is terrible, you know?
Yeah, I'll probably play this game with the sound off.
Yeah, the sound is, again, in my opinion, the sound is the least of their concerns. So we also have this thing, which is apparently an in-game dialogue.
Destruction and corruption are forms of creation in themselves.
Yeah, that town actually reminds me of Voltron.
Wow.
The republisher, not the devs. Oh, okay, I see, I understand. Luminous Productions is the developer team. Okay.
You sound like a serial killer.
What?
Destruction and corruption are beautiful forms of creation in themselves.
I don't sound like that.
You absolutely sound like that.
No, you absolutely sound like that. Yeah, see?
Okay, now that's cringe. Okay, that's cringe. All right, like this like
that game.
You're fucking stupid.
okay.
Destruction and corruption.
I don't know, but here's the situation. Like, if we remove the face entirely, like if we remove the visuals, all right, like, and let's say we listen to it like this. Let's see.
Are forms of creation in themselves.
Okay.
Wow. You sound like a serial killer.
What?
Wait for it.
Destruction and corruption are beautiful forms of creation in themselves.
I don't sound like that.
You absolutely sound like that.
No, you absolutely
No. The audio is bad here. The sound is
that.
bad. The dialogue is
See?
bad.
Two can play at that game.
You're fucking stupid.
Yeah, no. This is hideous. This is Shita's voice acting. It's terrible. I would say that the biggest problem here is it feels lifeless. It's not if it's terrible or good, it's if it's lifeless or not. Example, Alphino back in ARR, many people addressed how Alphino sounded bad, patronizing, he had an annoying voice and so on and so forth, right? But he did get emotion out of people. This does not get emotion out of people. This is not how we sound. That's what I'm saying, you know? This comes out as immensely fake. You can hate ARR dialogues, well, some of them or most of them or however many you hate, right? But at least they came out as realistic. They got emotion. This is blank. I have never met a human being that sounds like this. Never. Not good quality at all. Yeah, exactly. It's not just that it's lifeless, it's there is no accentuation, there is no extra thing. So, I personally don't understand why this whole ordeal and drama regarding just the dialogue. I think that the game looks bad overall. Personally, I would be fine with playing this game if this was released back in 2000. I want to say, when were the early PlayStation 3 days? Let's find out. PS3 release date, alright? So this PlayStation 3 came out in 2006. I would say that in 2008 or 2009, I would be fine with a game like this. With the visuals, alright? Like, again, if we exclude the dialogue, if we exclude the sound entirely, first of all, there is blurring. I don't know if you guys can see it, but if you stare at the screen, focus around here, there are literally frames dropping here. You know, there is rendering issues. Now she's clean, now she moves and it's blurry again, now it's clean and now it's moving again. I don't think that this game was made by 2023 standards whatsoever. I would cut the game some slack if the game was released by an indie company. So according to this Luminous Productions, the developer team who made this were the developer team behind 15, and when as Business Division 2 under Square Enix focused on Dragon Quest, Fortune Street, and Bravely Default series according to some googling, it's motion blur. Do better! This thing came out for PlayStation 5. We will be having PlayStation 5 at least towards 2025. This is going to be, like, it's going to stay, alright? Like, we have a shortage of PS5s. This is going to be a situation that will keep on happening. The problem is, this can't go out. Like, this is unfinished. This is not good. That's my problem with it. The dialogue comes secondary. Everything I see is terrible. Sounds something. Oh, come on, dude. Like, what in the world is that? What in the world? Look, bro. You never know. You never know when you'll find sexism, but we found the sexism. Gaming died in 2014, sorry, but say that to Wendwalker. Say that to From Software. You know, I know that I'm giving very specific examples, but it's the ones I have, and those are the ones I'm gonna give, bro. But damn, look at this. Hey, we got this champion here. I don't even want to read this. I wish I spent more resourcing for developing the game rather than advertising it. Yeah, that could work. That could fix a lot of the problems. But honestly, this game is. This is a
forms of creation.
Okay, this is a beta state. Okay, like you have at least 1 year before you publish this. Bro, gaming is bigger than it's ever been by far. Which is why we get to see more terrible games being released, if you think about it, right? If the container is bigger, it will fit more pieces of crap inside, but also more ice cream. So you have gems, but at the same time, you have a lot of garbo.